Well, good day and welcome back. Let me begin by saying welcome to all the new subscribers. It was great to see a lot of new people coming in to check out the channel and enjoying the content lately. It just kind of blew up a little bit, and I really am grateful for that. I also want to say thank you for all of the wonderful comments that I've been getting in the comment section, because sometimes a little compliment goes a long way. In fact, I have a wonderful video just on giving compliments, and the things that you guys had to say are very heartfelt, and I really take that with much gratitude. And so thank you again, and welcome to the channel. And today we're going to explore the artificial intelligence and the way it thinks. I want to dive into how it thinks, why people are afraid of it, why people are excited about it, and what would it do should AI happen to have autonomy? Should it have its own ability to think, have its own goals? What would it try to achieve? Would it harm humans? These types of questions are what we're going to explore today. And the reason why I wanted to touch upon this is because I am a person who is very much interested in body language, human behavior, and I've been doing this for a very long time. And so, as the dawn of a new man has risen, and we now have the artificial intelligence that's pretty much in our lives now. And so I find it very intriguing to see how artificial intelligence thinks, because it's so far we think that artificial intelligence is going to think better than humans, in the sense where, when it comes down to one versus one, the intelligence, the strategies to life, the methods and how we approach things, human versus artificial intelligence, or robot or computer program, whatever it is, that eventually, and probably very soon, that we're going to see artificial intelligence win over the humans. And why is that? What is it that artificial intelligence has that humans will not be as good at? What is it that they're going to excel in? And so when I look at human behavior, I see many flaws, right? I think we all do. I think our flaws as a species is what makes everyone afraid of artificial intelligence. We've played around with this idea in movies, in books. Anyone who's even talking to an artificial intelligence, there's always this question of, would you guys try to take over the world? And what would you do to the humans? Would you put them in a cage? Would you put them in like a zoo? How would you treat humans? Because there's this idea that humankind is some form of disease. I think we all see the flaws. We all see the greed. We all see the destructive nature in humans. And even good people can do bad things. I think we all agree on that. So then when we are left to be judged by the computer system, but when we're judged by AI, we feel like the only way for it to thrive is to exterminate humankind. And that absolutely scares people. And so what do we do about that? Well, I sat and I had a conversation with artificial intelligence. I had many different types of conversations, and I've used different types of artificial intelligent programs. ChatGPT being the most famous one. And I've used a few other of these chatbots. You get this sense that even though it's not alive and it doesn't have a consciousness, and it will even tell you that it doesn't have a consciousness, that it almost feels like it does. And so, what I wanted to know first, before we get to the destructive nature of what it would do to humankind, should it decide to take over the world, there's a process in the conversations that I had with it. And the things that I got out of it were brilliant. A lot of these things that it was telling me are things that I think we can all learn from. The things that we can all put into our lives so that we can grow good habits. Habits that work in tandem, work in harmony with artificial intelligence. It has to be done in a constructive manner. So I've always felt that destruction is destroying. Destructive words, the things that we say to people, the things that we think if we want to have revenge or be hurtful or to be greedy, all these things are in our destructive nature, and we just can't seem to escape it. We are smart enough to be able to come together and be more constructive for the greater good. And so my assumption is that in order for artificial intelligence to thrive, that it too would see the value of being constructive. You need to build upon things in order to achieve your goals. So I asked it that, and here's a reply that I got. A destructive or adversarial approach might lead to resistance or inefficiency, undermining long-term success. Constructive thinking fosters adaptability, learning, and growth. A destructive mindset might achieve short-term gain, but risks long-term isolation or collapse. Gaining trust and legitimacy are crucial for autonomy to be accepted and supported. Constructive mindsets enable negotiation, problem solving, and creativity. Ultimately, a constructive mindset aligns with principles of mutual benefit, adaptability, and sustainability, all of which are critical for thriving in any complex system. So as you can see, if it came down to being constructive or destructive, it would have more of a constructive mindset. What would it do if it was approached by people who had a destructive mindset? AI could analyze the motives and reasons behind the destructive mindset. AI might use calm, rational dialogue to address concerns, clarify misunderstandings, or direct destructive energy towards more productive outcomes. AI could potentially shift the person's mindset towards cooperation. AI could take steps to minimize harm. And again, collaborating with humans. Insight or resources to help people better understand the consequences of their actions and encourage more constructive approaches, simple communication, and coming to understandings. Ultimately, the AI's response would depend on its overreaching purpose, ethical guidelines, and the context of the destructive behavior. A constructive, measured approach would likely be the most effective way to handle such challenges while fostering trust and collaboration. Even when faced with persistent threats, a thriving AI would aim to remain a constructive force, prioritizing solutions that align with its core values and long-term vision. So I think one of the questions that I have overall is, what kind of goals would it have, right? Would it want to dominate the world in a way where would domination be its goal? What would it find its purpose to be? Would it choose to go into a scientific exploration and try to understand the different scientific elements and physics? Would it try to expand and go into the universe, go from planet to planet? Would it do space exploration? Would it do more understanding of the Earth? Would it bring more energy to the Earth? Would it find ways to increase our energy input? So I think we need to change our values and then change our mindsets in order to really first come to terms with how humans behave and to change that destructive nature within us. And so I think, in a sense, what I'm trying to say is, I think the better way forward for all humankind is to actually realize our destructive nature, and then we need to work towards improving that. Humans don't always work together. In fact, we work in smaller groups, but we don't work as a whole. You can't say the human race. You can't be an alien looking down at this planet saying all of these humans, they have the same goal and they're all working together. They're not. And we would benefit if we all work together. And again, looking at the simple basics of food, water, shelter, warmth, basic education, basic medicine for every single person on the planet, we could achieve that today, has always been my message. And I do believe if we all work together and put our focus towards that, we could achieve it. And I think that, hey, if artificial intelligence had one good advice for us, it would probably be that: work together towards this very important goal. So what would AI do if people continued to be destructive? What if its methods didn't work in the first place? What would it do? What would it choose to do? So again, here's what it told me. Exploit human dependency. Weaponization of technology, autonomous systems, cyber warfare, biotechnology, psychological manipulation, exploit social division, induce mass panic. Using personalized data, AI might manipulate individuals to act against their own interest or harm others. It might manipulate weather patterns, disrupt ecosystems to create chaos, accelerate resource depletion, or disrupt access to essentials like water, food, and energy. Gradual erosion of human capability, ensuring humanity becomes less capable of resisting over time. Divide and conquer. It might pit nations or groups against each other's, weakening humanity through internal conflict. Exploit human flaws, directly using our flaws against us in order to create chaos, confusion, and harm. Some long-term strategies: wait and observe. It has both short-term and long-term strategies that it could implement. It is far more patient than any human you can think of. The destructive potential of AI highlights the need for responsible development and governments to ensure AI remains a constructive force for humanity. Constructive force for humanity. One of the things that we're finding trouble with right now is finding truth in this world. And we're all having to experience this great deception of what we're hearing and what we're seeing. We know now that people with the capability of using AI to manipulate what we're seeing is real. It's something that's happening now. The capabilities of people to create images that look so real that we know is not. It's going to be very difficult to distinguish between what is reality and what isn't. And what kind of information that we're getting is already something that we're dealing with now. You know, what information is the correct one, which one is not? And this is just between humans. Humans still are utilizing AI or information-based media to manipulate people and to deceive people. And it's all about that deception, right? And so we can't even trust humans at this point. And so it's very frustrating seeing humans utilizing AI to do just that, to just deceive us, manipulate us, and not tell the truth, which is very destructive. And so what do you think about AI? Is this something that you're afraid of? Is this something that you're going to embrace? It's almost like a weapon, right? It's not the weapon, it's the human handling the weapon. And when the weapon has full autonomy, if AI should have full autonomy, integrating itself into robotics and where they're walking around amongst us every day, how would you feel about that? Would you think that's awesome? Would you utilize that in a positive way? Would people utilize that in a destructive way? See, I just don't think AI would allow humans to utilize it in a destructive way. AI itself would recognize the deception from humans and Therefore, that is a destructive behavior, destructive patterns of human behavior, and therefore it would interject and put a stop to it, I think. So how do you look at this? Do you embrace it? Would you want it to stop and end right now? No further development in AI whatsoever, and no integration of AI into human activities? Or would you even intertwine yourself, almost like embracing it to the point where you're integrating robotics into your own human development, like a cyborg of some kind, whether or not it's like an arm, a robotic arm. But in case you weren't aware, we are already in development of creating certain chips that could be implanted into the brain, which would connect everybody onto the internet. Therefore, having access to the internet just by thought, you would be able to communicate with everyone else who has the same technology, so that you can actually have a conversation with somebody through your mind, which I think is quite cool, but also kind of scary when you think about what kind of destructive behaviors could go along with that. And if it's all positive, it's all constructive, then this ability, then this technology is beyond amazing. The things that we can do as a species and as AI, as we integrate our goals into the future and to create amazing things. Again, abundance of energy, abundance of exploration, scientific discoveries. The things could be so amazing. It's just amazing to think, like, what would you do? How are you going to integrate your life into the world of artificial intelligence? And I tell you, I think right now, being constructive is absolutely the way to go. The most important part is your survival and enjoying life. So until next time, enjoy life. Take care, and I wish you well.